Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel as always. Got a lot of questions here from formspring.me/Aaron Rift, although I guess it's now spring.me, whatever. Don't know why they made that change, but regardless, got a lot of questions, so let's get right down to it. First one today comes from Ryan McQueen. Hey Aaron, big fan from France. With John Cena being out for 4 to 6 months, could you possibly see him making a return as a heel and joining the corporation, the new corporation? Once again, everybody bringing up the idea of John Cena turning heel. I've actually gotten a lot of questions about this. How is WWE going to handle John Cena's return? Will he turn heel? Will he form a new faction? I think it's unlikely. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't think that they're going to turn him heel. And the fact is, he's already a heel to a lot of the male audience. So if you actually did turn him heel, you would just make him a face to those people. So I don't see WWE changing John Cena's character for that reason alone. And the other reason is that John Cena is the guy who's doing all the Make-A-Wishes. He's the face of the company. He's the guy that represents WWE. And I don't think that they want to go with somebody else at this point. I don't think they can go with somebody else at this point. With all due respect to Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, John Cena has that mainstream recognition, and he's at that level that very few people are at. So, WWE doesn't even have that guy, but we'll have to wait and see. Now that Cena's out of action for a while, maybe other guys will be able to step up now, and WWE will be forced to try to find that next top star. But for the time being, I think when John Cena does come back, it'll be the usual John Cena, and nothing's going to change. And perhaps it should change from a creative standpoint, but I don't think it's going to happen. Next question here. Do you think it was wrong for the fans at Raw to boo John Cena even when he was talking about a legitimate injury? Well, definitely I think that fans should have realized that John Cena had this real injury and, not cheer the fact that he has to have surgery. I mean, that was going a little bit too far, but, it's a sign that the fans are frustrated. They're frustrated with the fact that John Cena has been on top for so long. The character has never changed. And, they're happy that he's gone, even if it is because of a surgery and because he has to take time off due to his injury. And, they're just happy that finally John Cena is going to be off television for a while and some new guys will have a chance to shine on top. And yeah, that crowd in Anaheim, I mean, they were really brutal. They were very much against Cena, and they were booing everything he said. Even when he said he was going to be gone 4 to 6 months, that got one of the biggest pops of the night. So, it's just the fact that fans are just fed up. And, it's sad that it took a serious injury for John Cena to be put on the sidelines for a bit. All right, this one comes from Evil Monk 84482. Hey, Aaron, with Cena now out a couple of months along with Sheamus, who do you think is going to pick up the slack? Well, right now, WWE is going to build the company around Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Randy Orton for the time being. But as I mentioned in the previous question, I don't think that anybody's going to reach that level that John Cena is at in terms of being a mainstream star. Now, maybe with the right push, somebody could get to that level, but at this point, I just don't see it happening, and I don't think that there's anybody else on the horizon that is going to be the next John Cena. People ask me all the time, who is going to be the next John Cena? Who's going to be the new flagship of the company? And I just don't know. I don't know if there's anybody on the roster that would fit the mold to be that guy. I don't know if Daniel Bryan or CM Punk, as WWE has mentioned on television, I mean, those guys like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, they're not really the prototype of what the top WWE star is. You look at Hulk Hogan, John Cena, The Rock. They're these larger-than-life guys with the, they're ripped to shreds. They're 6'5", 6'8", whatever. And, you know, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are not those guys cosmetically. So, you know, I just don't know. But, yeah, definitely it will give Daniel Bryan more of a chance to be in the spotlight. And same thing for CM Punk. And same thing for some of the other guys that haven't gotten much of an opportunity. Now will be the chance for them to step it up. And the word is that WWE is encouraging the guys on the roster to really pick up and pick up the pace and get with it. And this is their chance to rise up. All right, this one comes from STate01. Hey Aaron, please answer in video. Why is there suddenly heat on Sin Cara after he told the ref to stop the match on Raw when he got injured? If somebody else did that, there'd be no heat on him, so why Cena? Or why Sin Cara? Well, the fact is, he just had his fingers get messed up and he quit the match. I think that was why WWE was upset, because you know, their expectations are that you try to finish the match unless it's physically impossible to continue. And I think that with Sin Cara, he probably could have finished the match. And you know, guys like Triple H, they tear their quad and then they still go out there and complete the match. So, you know, WWE has those high expectations and expect you to work through minor injuries. So, you know, can't really blame them for being upset with Sin Cara. And as it turns out, he was on SmackDown the next night in a dark match. So, I mean, he was fine. So yeah, I'm sure that there is some bad feelings towards Sin Cara right now, and I don't really blame him. All right, this one comes from Freaky Fairy. My homeboy Aaron, after taking everything into consideration, including build-up, storytelling, and technicality, which do you believe was a better match, John Cena versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank 2011, or John Cena versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam? From the Freak. Well, absolutely nothing can compare to John Cena versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank. That was one of the greatest WWE matches of all time, and you know, nothing's going to top that. I mean, all the stars aligned for that match. You had the perfect crowd. You had the perfect storyline going in. You know, the perfect location, Chicago, CM Punk's hometown. Just everything worked there, and you had the hot angle with the pipe bomb promo leading up to it. And, you know, John Cena and Daniel Bryan, they didn't have that big angle leading up to the pay-per-view. The match itself was really good. It was great. But it wasn't, it was just a small step down from CM Punk and John Cena. And, you know, that's not a bad thing. I mean, even to be compared close to CM Punk and John Cena, I mean, that's a great accomplishment right there. So, you know, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena, was a great match, but, you know, it's unfair to compare it to CM Punk and John Cena because, you know, that match was something incredibly unique, and, you know, nothing else is going to compare to that match. All right, this one comes from Dante Hammett. Hey, Aaron, what do you think of Primo and Epico being repackaged with Matador gimmicks? WWE has started showing promos of them on Raw. Your thoughts? Well, my initial impression was, what is this? Tito Santana brought to 2013 with El Matador. You know, I think it's dumb, and you know, I think it's gonna flop. I don't see it working out, and you know, it's just such a blatant ripoff of the character that Tito Santana was doing 20 years ago, and you know, I guess they feel that so much time has passed they can get away with recycling an old gimmick. But you know, it didn't work all that well for Tito Santana. Maybe it gave him 6 months of a push, and then he was back to, you know, doing all the jobs. So, you know, I don't think this is going to work out. Might give them a month or two push, but that'll be it. All right, last one today comes from I Am Joe TW. Hey, Aaron, with rumors of AJ Styles' TNA contract coming to an end, and TNA being unable to re-sign him, what do you think this means for both AJ and TNA? In my opinion, this would be a large nail in the TNA coffin. Well, first of all, let me start off by saying that I think when all things are said and done, AJ Styles will sign a new deal and he'll stay with TNA. This kind of situation has happened before. You look at guys like Bobby Roode and Devon, where their contracts had expired, TNA had let the contracts expire, and then they ended up being re-signed at the very last minute as a surprise. So I could see the same kind of situation playing out here. It would be really sad if AJ was indeed gone from TNA. The fact that he's been with TNA since the beginning and he's been the flagship of the company. That would be sad if they just let him go and weren't able to come to a new agreement with him. And, TNA's having the financial issues right now, and I'm sure that they're paying AJ a good amount of money, and perhaps they just don't want to pay him all that much. So, it could come down to money. And, like I said, it would be really unfortunate if he didn't come to terms with them. But I'm expecting that they will work something out, and he will stay with TNA. He could end up going to Ring of Honor, doing independence again. WWE, it seems like a long shot right now. I don't know if WWE would be in the cards, but I think of all the options, I think he's best off sticking with TNA. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest on Night of Champions and TNA. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.